Yeah, I mean, critical. I appreciate that, and I think you know the way I view what you're talking about there is that when it comes to trade, the biggest question, whether it's free or fair, is are the trading partners' incentives aligned? And if they're not aligned, what do we need to do to align them to enter in that fair system, whether it's a free system you're trading with or not? Um, Rare earths, they've become more important, of course, right? Because the advancements in technology, we're able to do things that we couldn't do before. Elon's going to send a man to Mars, he says, right? And I believe him. You know, I think if you asked, you know, folks who grew up in the 60s and 70s who saw the moon landing, if you told them that, 95% or 90 to 95% of all the world's rockets launched in space would be launched by a private company, controlled by one person, they would tell you that the world has collapsed and everything is insane, some dystopian future. But that's where we are, and because the technology has enabled it, and the United States has a business climate that allows for that type of risk taking and encourages it, and we should embrace that. Um, and I don't want to bore your guests and most of these or listeners with most of these words I can't pronounce properly, but rare earths are essentially things that you don't use in everyday products, right? They're specialized, they're highly customizable, but limited use case, right? They're not used to make tires, right? So because of that, they have a very specific cause and effect, and the incentives for investing in those materials are different than if you were going to say invest in something like polysilicon, which is not a rare earth mineral, but is the primary ingredient in like a solar panel or semiconductor chip. But the other components of those materials, in guiding systems or whatever it is for national defense, are necessary to make it run. It's just not the primary thing. And so we have those things here, but because of that, there's no mass market, right, for rare earth materials. And so if you think about this economically, there's no mass market for it.